All right, Psalms 122:1 is a verse that's familiar to you. It says, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. And it's time for us to get back into our worship center. We're phasing into worship. We started with online, went to drive-in church, and now starting June the 7th, we're going to be able to worship in-house once again. But the government and the CDC has given us a lot of restrictions and a lot of hoops for us to jump through. And so at the bottom of this, along with this email, is attached a document with all of the instructions. If you want to just stop the video now and just read that, you're welcome to. I'm going to touch on 4 of the biggest things in all of those instructions to make sure that you understand. It's a little bit different than what church used to be, and there's reasons for it. Now, number 1, we're having 9 o'clock. We're having an 11 o'clock service. Services will be 1 hour, just like they've been on drive-in church. Now listen, just because we're in-house, I totally understand that some of you do not feel the freedom to get out in public. That's not going to be a thing. Man, maybe it's my age, maybe it's my health, maybe for whatever reason, I just don't think I need to be around people. I want you to know that is okay. You continue to join us online. We continue our online services at 9 o'clock. You can be just as big a part of our worship right there at your home online with us. That will be great. But if you feel the freedom to come, we'll have 9, we'll have 11. We're going to ask you to pre-register for the service that you're coming to. You go to our website, flintriver.church, you choose which hour, and then you register, and then you need to be at that service. And so there's 2 reasons for that. 1, we have to use every other pew. We're limited by how many people we can allow in here, so it will keep us from overbooking, having too many people in here. And it also is a requirement that they're asking of us to have a list to know who is in every service. So if 2 weeks later somebody tests positive for the COVID virus and they say, well, I was at Flint River on June the 7th at the 11 o'clock service, they're going to come to us and want a list of everybody who was in that service. So it helps us regulate crowd control, but it's also a requirement that the government is asking us as well. And so when you pre-register, you'll come into our parking lot. Our parking guys will show you exactly where to park. You will continue to tune your radio to 90.3, and then we will give you instructions over the radio when we're ready in here for you to enter the building. And so you will follow all the instructions off of 90.3, and that'll be great. So if you've pre-registered, there will be a little check-in station under our awning out front. You just come and check your family in. It'll just be very quick, and then we will seat you. You don't get to choose where you sit, because you will be placed by the number in your family, because this is like a giant jigsaw puzzle, because we have to put families and keep 6 feet of distance between families. So if a pew is 16 feet long, then we're going to have to fit the pieces. Well, it can hold a single on this side, a family of 4 on this side. So it's like a puzzle. So you will be seated from the front to the back as you arrive, and you will have an assigned seat. Almost like going to the movie theater when you've got row 11, seat 4. That's going to kind of be how it is here. But that will help us get everyone seated very quickly. We can promise you that the building will be sanitized before you enter it, whichever service you choose, because there will be a cleaning crew in between services that will come through here and clean and sanitize every pew, every doorknob, everything that you could possibly touch. Both of the restrooms will be cleaned incredibly. So we guarantee whichever service you come to, you will walk into a very clean, sanitary building. The doors will be propped open. It'll be a touch-free environment. There won't be a greeter standing there holding the door, handing you a bulletin. Nobody's going to touch you, hug you, shake your hands. We will be outside and we will greet you, but from a distance. It may be a long distance high five or a long distance hug, but it's a touch-free worship experience. And so you will come in, be seated. When worship has ended, you will be dismissed by rows. We just can't say, okay, see you next week, because then everybody stands up. Now we have 50 people in each aisle, and that defeats the whole purpose. So we will exit the building by rows, and then we will close the doors, and everything gets sanitized again before the next group of people come, because our promise is that you will always have a clean building. So there won't be bulletins passed to you. There will not be an offering plate that is passed. We've got boxes now that will be in the back of the worship center. And as you come or go, whichever you choose, if you have an offering envelope that you would like to put into those boxes, or a prayer request, or anything that you would like to leave a note for us, you can do that as you come or go. And those of you that have learned to give online on Kindred, man, that is awesome. You continue to do that, because that is so easy to just process everything like that. A lot of you have discovered a new way of giving, and so we applaud you for that. All right? And let me see what else I want to tell you. There will not be any kind of nursery. There will not be any kind of child care. There will not be children's church. Be family-style worship. It'll be like we have on Christmas Eve. You will sit with your family. You can't go sit with other families or with friends. Families have to be intact and separated by 6 feet. But you know what? Well, I don't know. How's church going to be with kids in here? It's going to be okay. It's going to be fun. We can do this. And it's going to be all right. And so I hope you won't let that keep you from being a part. The question was, what about masks? Well, you know what? There's a lot of our people that their companies, their businesses require them when they leave their house to have a mask on. And if that's the case, that is great. Some of you would just rather choose to wear a mask. You feel more protected, more comfortable in one. That is great. But if you're fine without one, we're fine without you having one. We're not providing masks. You will need to bring your own if you desire a mask. All right? Now, here's the last thing and most important. Hey, hang with me and be flexible, because the restrictions and the requirements change weekly. And so there is a good chance you're getting this on Thursday morning. There is a very good chance before our first service ever happens that some of these will be different. And if they change, we'll inform you. We'll keep you up on exactly what's going on. And we'll just be flexible with us. It's going to be a good deal. We're back in God's house. We won't be able to hug and shake hands, but we can holler across the worship center before worship begins. It'll be the first time that we're able to see each other and be together, and it will be incredible. I hope you'll join us. It's going to be a great, great day.